Okay, we're going to deal with your childhood memories. And Benjamin Franklin wrote, "Our whole life is but a greater and longer childhood." May or may not be true. All right, where and when were you born?
I was born January the 19th, 1934 at 20 North Anderson, Pontiac, Michigan. I actually was born in the house.
What did your mother and father tell you about your birth?
Basically nothing.
Okay. How did your parents choose your name?
From what I understand, my dad was reading a Western, and the hero was named Dwayne. Thank God it wasn't Mortimer or something like that. But
Heroes generally are not.
He broke tradition. In the DRCs, for 100 years, their first named was born Benjamin. My dad was Benjamin Peter. His dad was Peter Benjamin. His dad was Benjamin Wellington. I mean, you put DRC in and you get hundreds of them.
Okay.
So.
All right. Okay. What is your earliest memory about your childhood? What's the earliest you can just remember about anything about your childhood?
Well, I can remember. My mother always had kind of visions of grandeur. She always, when I went to school, I had to wear dress pants, not dungarees. But when I was little, she used to dress me in white. And my dad was estranged from his brothers and sisters, but he had a brother that lived in Detroit, which is only 30 miles away, and I only saw him once. He was an engineer on a railroad. And
this story is not going to end well.
No. They took me there, and I was all dressed in white, and their house was not that nice. But my Uncle Bruce, that was my dad's brother, asked if I would like to go down and see his choo-choo.
How old were you? What do you think you were?
4, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Dressed in white. So we went down, and they climbed up in the seat, and I pulled the whistle and everything. And I crawled all over the thing, and when we went home, back to his house, I was black. My mother got really upset.
Did your dad happen to step in to protect you?
I don't really remember that stuff. And all I remember of my dad's people were knees. I was just a little guy. I can remember being in an attic of my grandmother's place, and here all the brothers and that were sitting around playing instruments and things like that. But when my dad married my mother, he was an Irish Protestant Orangeman, and he married my mother, which was Catholic, which is a no-no.
Not only Catholic, but devout Catholic.
Devout Catholic, so they kicked him out of the family. And they moved down to Pontiac. And I hardly ever saw. In fact, when I did see him, I was so little I don't remember him. All I remember is knees. But
okay. Do you remember? Did your parents tell you any stories about when you were a baby or a toddler?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay. Now, do you have brothers and sisters? Well, you have one sister.
Yes, I have one sister.
Younger than you are.
Yep, 7 years younger. Sharon Sue. She lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What's your earliest memory of her, since you were now older?
Just a little kid follow me around wherever I went. There's a picture over there of us when we were little.
You were irritated by that?
Kinda. No matter where I turned, she was right there.
Okay. And how did you two get along?
okay, I guess. I mean, by the time she, like I say, she was 7 years younger, so we really didn't relate that close. And then when I went in the service, she got married to an Air Force officer, and when I come back, she was gone.
Okay. What was the name of the street you grew up on?
Anderson Street.
What was it like?
Well, typical at that time, and typical 30s houses. In fact, the way my dad got that house was he painted houses in the subdivision, even though he was working for General Motors. He did it part-time. The street was level, and at the other end it went up a high hill, which we used to ride our bikes down.
I can imagine.
And I used to sit on the front stoop, and this is during World War II, and there would be trucks coming down Pike Street, which was the main drag, Army trucks that were being built about a mile away, but the guys would be coming down driving this truck sitting on a box. There was no body, there was nothing else, which was kind of funny.
Okay. Okay. What was it like, and who were your neighbors?
Well, one of my neighbors that I palled around with was John Shanks, who eventually married my cousin later on. But there was John Shanks, there was Lee May. We always used to play cowboys and Indians and mounted police. John Shanks had a complete mounted Canadian outfit, and he used to dress up in that, and we had our log house.
Oh, wow.
And then I do remember catching hell for my mother because next door to us they hadn't. Hi, kid.
Can I use your computer and print off something?
Certainly.
Awesome.